While we strive to deliver an unparalleled experience, safety remains our top priority. Let's take a moment to review our emergency protocols. In the event of an emergency, our venue's alert system will activate immediately. Announcements will guide you through the next steps. Please listen carefully and follow instructions. Know your exits. Evacuation routes are clearly marked throughout the venue. Locate the nearest exit to your seat and proceed calmly in case of evacuation. There are 5 exits. Exit 1, the northwest exit from the venue. Exit 2, the northeast exit from the venue. Exit 3, the southeast exit from the venue. Exit 4, the southwest exit from the venue. And exit 5, the southwest exit of the venue. Once outside, head to the nearest assembly point. Staff members will be there to assist you. Do not re-enter the venue until it is deemed safe by authorities. Our staff undergoes regular training to ensure they are prepared for any emergency. Trust their guidance and follow their instructions. Together, we can ensure a safe and enjoyable experience for everyone. Thank you for your cooperation and support. Let's make every moment unforgettable at Unrivaled.
4.5 weeks, this whole place is going to be basically a custom-built facility. We're essentially doing something that's never been done.
When I first walked in here, it was literally just a black woman. I saw it in May, and it was the same thing. It was just like, oh, she looks so good. Like, Beyonce, no.
We hired some great coaches, so broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star
In Miami, we wrap up week 2 of Unrivaled with the 2 highest scoring teams in the league. 2-1 final, taking on 3-0 Lunar Owls. You're watching Unrivaled on TNT, presented by Samsung Galaxy. To take a journey here at Wayfair Arena, an electric atmosphere to wrap up what's been an exciting second week of basketball. Hi everyone, Brendan Glasheen with Sarah Kustok. We have Taylor Rooks joining us on the sidelines. The most dominant stat line to date in Unrivaled history comes from the league-leading scorer, the co-founder.
Nafisa Collier blew up the box score, and it was incredible to watch how she's dominated. This is an undefeated Lunar Owls team leading the league in scoring, and a big reason why is Collier. She could do it at every place on the floor, inside, outside, and it's a level of efficiency that has just been through the roof. She has been in her bag, pulling out all the moves, but it's going to be a tough task trying to slow down this Vinyl team, second in the league in scoring behind Arike Ogunbowale. You know that she is a bucket. She'll get to her spot. She's patient, she's poised, but she's someone who also can light it up. Had a big push at the end of Friday's game to try and come back against the Laces. They run so much through her, and also the compliments of her teammates that make this offense so challenging to slow down.
A one-time scoring champion, Arike, joins Ryan Howard, and Aaliyah Boston makes her starting debut here at Unrivaled, coming off the bench the previous 3 games. As for Lunar Owls, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 4th straight game with Skylar Diggins-Smith and Ali Chagre, the 2 left-handed assassins, joining Collier in the starting trio for Lunar Owls Basketball Club. Our officials tonight, crew chief Gerda Gatling. Our referee is Andrew Goodman, and umpire Shim Rivera. Lunar Owls boast the top scoring offense through 3 games at 81.7 points per game. As for Vinyl, 80.7 points per game. These 2 teams, Sarah, also take care of the basketball. They commit the fewest turnovers in the league.
We found that's been such a critical component to find your way to a win. We know this is a fast-paced game, so possessions matter immensely, and I think it's going to be interesting to watch how the Vinyl come out playing without De'Erica Hamby. We can talk about the offensive side of things. She was an anchor on the defensive end for Vinyl, so what does her absence do in terms of trying to slow down a Lunar Owls team that has got so many scores on the floor?
The 10-year veteran is out due to personal reasons, so Boston earns the start for Vinyl. Just about set for tip-off here at Wayfair Arena. Doubleheader here on TNT. Rose and Laces, the 2nd game on this Monday doubleheader. Here we go. Boston and Collier head-to-head. The youngster against the phenom. Howard makes the save, and controlled by Vinyl. Here's Arike Ogunbowale, 15.7 points per game. Howard, 3rd in the league in scoring, working off ball as Boston tries to take it at Diggins-Smith. Spinning in the lane. Boston missed the lay. Offensive rebound, Aaliyah Boston. Denied at the rim.
Off the initial miss, Collier was able to get back on Boston. It's a big switch when you are able to exploit some of these mismatches.
Skylar Diggins-Smith snaking inside, missed the lay. 7-minute quarters until we reach the untimed 4th as Ogunbowale drills the transition 3. Arike has now made 7 threes here at Unrivaled as Gray misses the teardrop, facing her former and current teammate in Atlanta, Ryan Howard. They're matched up on each other. Turnaround by Boston. Straight up defense by Collier.
And this is going to be an interesting matchup just with the resistance that Collier can put on Boston.
Ali Chagre gets downhill and beats her dream teammate to put Lunar Owls on the board.
A ton of space when you've got Boston pulled out because of Collier's ability to stretch the floor.
Ali Chagre went for 21 points on Saturday in the victory over Phantom. Boston jab step, 0 for 3 from the floor. 3 very good looks though early on.
I was going to say, those are the looks that you want. Now it's about making them.
Diggins-Smith follows her own shot. How about from the corner this time?
When When you're a shooter, you're the first to know it's off. I think it barely released her hand when she started crashing in for the offensive rebound. Good hustle to come up with it and give herself another look.
Owls as a squad shooting 39% from deep. Better than any of the individual percentages under DJ Sackman, a 38-year-old with extensive experience training basketball stars, men's and women's players. He loves this group.
Loves the group, and you can understand why. They love each other, love playing with one another. The chemistry is visible with how they play, and also just us watching shoot-arounds or practices. The communication and how they collaborate with one another in terms of how they want to play certain circumstances is really valuable.
Leah Boston picked up the foul, digging Smith down the runway, cleared by Agumbawale. Nice bounce entry, Boston lays it home.
A good find, one in transition, two, get Boston to see go through the hoop after missing those first couple.
And Enrique the steal. Hits the break, searching for options. Bounce entry again, it's Boston. That connection looks smooth here for Vinyl.
Agumbawale is making the right play, but she also understands the importance of that confidence.
Gray breaks loose to even the score at 7. Way back on draft day in November, Teresa Weatherspoon, head coach of Vinyl, said when the pairing of Enrique and Ryan Howard, an opportunity for Enrique specifically to become a better leader, understand why it's important to make a pass, make everyone better. And we're seeing that on display in the first quarter. Howard works hard off the ball, missed it. Let's hear from Taylor Rooks.
Yeah, Brendan, as you talk about both Enrique and Ryan, it was really cool hearing, Teaspoon talk about their greatness. She said it's how they're bringing everyone else along. They're bought into everything you ask them to do. She said an elite athlete can do whatever they want on the floor, but they want more. And the more you give, the more they take and try to apply it. They're making each other better. We've been seeing that really throughout all of Unrivaled, Brendan.
Good stuff, Taylor. Yeah, these two are really learning how to play off one another, and they've embraced that every day since coming down here in the new year.
They're such go-to players, and you want players that demand the ball in their hands because of what a threat that they are, but I think that's where the evolution and the growth comes in, and that's a fun part of watching week by week and what we'll continue to see as they get more acclimated with one another and what their teammates are needing in certain instances throughout the course of the games.
Ryan Howard was just teed up, which resulted in one free throw worth 1 point for Nafisa Collier. Now at the stripe, 1 for 2. "37 points on Saturday, 18 rebounds. Made 5 threes on 7 tries, 5 assists, 3 steals. A dominant performance by one of the co-founders.
Those are like video game numbers. It's
so
wild.
good.
It was incredible watching as well. It all came within the flow of the game, I think, was most impressive.
And she did not take her finger off the turbo button. Had the green light. This is how you run the break. Gray, touch pass. Diggins, Smith, got it. That's one way to break a press on a 72-foot court.
You said it. And they took it all the way to the basket to suck in the defense to then get it back out to the look.
Enrique off one leg. One of her great moves. Gray guarded by Howard. That's a fun matchup to watch tonight in this commercial-free first quarter. Collier works hard. Boston keeps in front. Standing tall. Collier absorbs. Rebound to Leah Boston.
It's an excellent defensive possession for Leah Boston. You said it, just staying in front, forcing a tough contested shot.
Howard for 3. Boston setting a hard screen. Gray and Collier communicate well. 13-9, Owls looking for more. On the dump to Collier, a reach-in foul. Second on Vinyl as a team. This time it's Enrique Agumbawale. It's her first. And for Owls, Courtney Williams and Shakira Austin. For Vinyl, Ray Burrell checks in. Williams, just a master of the mid-range, led all players last summer in mid-range makes and attempts. Burrell playing with confidence, knocks it down, right off the catch.
And the confidence has come from her effectiveness from 3. She does not hesitate, and That's the type of coaching that comes with it.
Austin, beautiful cut, and puts it home. Burrell and Austin are two role players in their respective summer homes, Los Angeles and Washington, and they are coming alive as Fee with the swat on Burrell. Staying here, 12 seconds on the shot clock for final.
There you go, some excellent defense by Collier. Burrell forced to put it on the ground. It didn't feel like she was uncomfortable with that look.
High bounce off the iron, corralled by Collier. Double big lineup for DJ Sackman. Out of bounds off of Austin.
That's where we're continuing to see the coaches and what buttons they want to press in terms of what the opponent looks like, the matchups, the personnel. Do you go small because the other three are small? Do you go big to try and exploit it? It's been the fun part of the chess match.
Burrell tried to feed it. Austin got the hands in. No De'Erica Hamby tonight, out due to personal reasons. Collier off 1 foot, knocks it down. 17-12. Timeout, Teresa Weatherspoon.
Great read by Courtney Williams, slowing the pace to allow Collier to get to her spot on the baseline.
Both of our coaches tonight are mic'd up, so let's listen in on the huddles.
Hey, we're walking in your office. You're walking. Listen, we're walking. All right? Turn the corner, get down here, exactly the way we worked yesterday. Turn to get down here, you got it all day long. Not up here, because that's where they are. It's here, okay? Turn the corner, open the space. Go right to your twist. But in the twist, you got to be over in this area here for it to come running, you're getting downhill, okay? Then you play empty side, okay?
You're at the blackboard.
Yeah. I got it. Look.
You go set the same line.
This is right. This is you. Go set it. She's running. You getting out, okay? You getting out here, right? I got it. Huh?
You set the line.
Teresa Weatherspoon, the only unrivaled coach with WNBA playing experience, when asked about her scout on Lunar Owls. As a defensive team, we need to be the aggressors. How do you think they've done so far?
They have, but as she's talking about keeping with the pace, I'm curious how they respond with 5 players, because it's something the Owls have dealt with throughout the course of the season.
Howard just used a rest. Kick out Ogumbawale. Offensive rebound Burrell. Ogumbawale climbing inside. Scrapes down the board and lays it in. Enrique's cut ups.
Tenacity to go after that offensive rebound.
And Sweet Baby Ray with the steal. Enrique, deception, Burrell for the tie. You can just feel the confidence of Ray Burrell on the floor, averaging about 9 points per game in 7 minutes for Vinyl. Williams slings it, intended for Austin. We're staying here, 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Again, though, as we're talking about Teresa Weatherspoon and those defensive possessions, they're doing a good job at the denials and negotiating some of those ball screens where the rolls are coming from.
Williams second in the league in assists at 5.3. Collier fed, grabs her own miss and knocks it in. Collier's got 7 points. She's now surpassed 100 points in this young unrivaled season.
Those are the possessions you gotta put a body on her. It's just much too easy for her to let the ball bounce back to her off a miss.
Enrique in her bag, behind the back dribble, tries to blow by Collier, and that's not gonna work. The queen owns the throne. Lunar Owls can hold for the final shot, just about. Identical game clock, identical shot clock. Down to 6 for Williams, the Lynx teammates. Austin is fed with 3. Austin must fire, got it off in time. In and out.
At the end of the first quarter, your score, Lunar Owls
19-14. Lunar Owls in search of a 4-0 start. The Laces play later tonight. Those two teams fighting for the top spot here in Miami to sit atop Unrivaled. Off and running, you're watching Unrivaled on TNT, presented by Samsung Galaxy. Unrivaled on TNT is brought to you by Great Taste, 96 calories, Miller Lite, tastes like Miller time. And by AT&T, connecting changes everything. Unrivaled on TNT, presented by Samsung Galaxy. 5-point lead for Lunar Owls over Vinyl, which is led by Teresa Weatherspoon. Good minutes from Agumbawale in the first quarter. 7 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Not in the game right now. It's Canada, Burrell, and Boston. Rips down the rebound, her fourth with 4 points. No De'Erica Hamby, so Boston's role increases starting today, having to deal with Collier as well as Shakira Austin, who brings it in for Lunar Owls. Alicia Gray looking for Austin, swiveling inside, counted and one for Shakira Austin.
The go-to, that's what they've been using in whether they're going right or left from the wing, from the top of the key. They're utilizing those ball screens and pocket passes, and they've taken advantage. And an excellent job there by Shakira Austin with her step through. Uses a Euro to create space. Ray Burrell, not happy with that call off that possession, but you see it, whether it's been Gray or Williams, they've been leading their bigs to the basket because they know there's going to be just that little bit of lag space, how quick they come off that pick.
Austin has been one of the great stories of this Unrivaled season because she's been hampered by injuries. Just 31 games played over the last 2 WNBA seasons, dealing with a hip, an ankle, and she's here to prove to herself, I can do anything. The sky is the limit. There she is up top. Gray to Williams. Grabbed by Gray, flings it up and in, all propelled by Austin's block.
You teed her up, Brendan.
Sometimes it works out that way. Canada. Hit the breaks that went back in, drew a foul, 1 free throw worth 2 points on the way for the defensive stud, Jordan Canada. Fouls on Williams.
That's the fun part too. There were so many defensive-minded players who are also continuing to showcase their two-way ability, vice versa. Everyone needs to guard in this league. There is nowhere to hide anyone. There's not an opportunity to play in a place that you are not potentially exposed based off your one-on-one and single coverage, and you can see just how well these women are stepping up to those challenges.
Austin on the offensive glass. Couldn't bank it home. That's been the common message from every coach. Not just one or two there. Defensively being sound, 1v1. Ray Burrell. Bank is open on this end for Vinyl to cut it to 6.
These circumstances with no backside help and what this looks like, negotiating ball screens nearly every possession, these are the toughest things to do on the floor.
DJ Sackman, the head coach of Lunar Owls, he's been very vocal how you might not get that practice in terms of screen communication in 5-on-5. This really shrinks the floor, quite literally and from a scheme standpoint, as Gray reaches in. That is the first personal on Alicia Gray, second on Lunar Owls as a team. When you exceed 4, you put the opponent in the bonus. We approach the 5-minute mark of quarter 2. Lunar Owls looks to start 4-0. Canada. There's Burrell out of nowhere.
And that's the point. You can't turn your head. She came flying in. No one puts a body on her. White jerseys are just looking at the basket and ball watching.
Here comes a small run by Vinyl. Burrell searching. Canada feeds Boston. Nice up fake to get Austin in the air, and a foul. It's on Austin, her first in the active shooting. So Aaliyah Boston takes a trip to the line.
And on that same note of us talking about that, this also allows for post players to have more leeway, real estate, and space, not knowing it's very challenging to double in this league or double off the post, or when you have a player who's operating in that space. And so it gives room for some of those moves, some of the footwork, some of the things that you work on so consistently to really be put into play in game action.
It's an 8-0 Vinyl run. Arguably the most decorated player in South Carolina history, Aaliyah Boston. She's up there with many greats, as Gray, also a former Gamecock, connects to make it 26-22.
shouts to Asia Wood.
That's right. There's Aaliyah on the spin. Decorated doesn't mean the best. I want to be very clear about that. There's resume talk as Burrell comes in to make the effort on Diggins Smith. Foul is called.
Did you see it?
Turns the corner. That's a nice switch to the right hand by Diggins Smith. And this is where the out to get downhill a little bit more. They've been taking some three-point looks, working in the mid-range, and they've been working that pick and roll, getting at the post, but I think there's opportunities for a handful of these players to continue, just put it on the deck, penetrate, and get to the cup.
Both teams combined 6 of 6 at the free throw line. That was worth 2 for Diggins Smith. He's got 8 points now tonight. Alley carved out by Boston. Okay, Aaliyah Boston up to 10 points. Diggins Smith looks to bank it in, not going to go. Aaliyah Boston's got 10 and 6 points, rebounds, push it ahead. Burrell for 3, and the lead to Vinyl for the first time since the opening minutes. What a push by Vinyl, showing maturity, the youngest team in the league. Gray with the answer.
It's a big shot by Alicia Gray. And a lot of that, though, is coming through getting stops. Their stops have allowed them to flow a little bit easier into their offense.
Gray's now got 11 points. DJ Sackman keeps telling Gray, shoot the ball. Don't hesitate. 5 of 7 from the floor. Starting trio here. Diggins Smith in the lane. Burrell collapses on it. Her fingertips touched it last. We get ourselves a timeout on the floor. 3:02 to go in the first half. We got a good one. Lunar Owls 31, Vinyl 29. You are watching Unrivaled on TNT, presented by Samsung Galaxy.
Right. No, they small. They small now. They small. Right. Watch out. Hey. Wow. Yeah. Hey. Don't force it. It don't matter because they switching everything. Get the sky. Hey. Bang bang. Another one. Yeah. Yeah.
Courtney Williams mic'd up for us tonight. Skylar Diggins Smith, bottom left of your screen, says she is the ultimate teammate, always lifting somebody up and always talking to somebody.
You love to see that. She does it with enthusiasm and passion.
Small ball lineup for Teaspoon now on the Vinyl side. Canada and Enrique with Ryan Howard, who is considered the big out here at 6'2", and then Collier, Gray, and Diggins Smith for Lunar Owls. Corner inbound here. Howard's got it. Let's send it over to Taylor Rooks.
Thanks, Brendan. I'm here with our long-lost broadcast partner, Courtney Williams. Tell me what you are liking from your teammate, Alicia Gray, in this game.
Oh, man, she letting it fly. She letting it fly. They giving us certain shots, and right now we just need to lock in on our finishing. We getting it, every shot that we want, we getting right now. We just got to lock in on our finishes.
And for you, how do you want to get going offensively?
Yeah, I mean, what I just said, I got to lock in. I'm getting to my spots. Now I just got to focus on making sure I'm shooting it the way I need to be shooting it. So, like I said, it's just a game of basketball, man. It's a game of runs. They went on a run, so now we got to finish out this half.
And on the defensive side, how can you continue to get Vinyl just a little more out of rhythm out there?
I mean, putting the pressure on them. They all good scorers. So we just got to make them uncomfortable. Really just making them uncomfortable.
We always appreciate your time. Thanks, Courtney.
I appreciate it.
Back to you, Brendan.
And that's what it's all about when you look at the way these teams play. They understand there's runs in certain circumstances. You're going to get hot. But I think for the Owls, their comfort in knowing the spots on the floor they want to get the ball and how to read what the defense is showing them.
On the spin, offensive foul committed by Lunar Owls.
Offensive foul on Collier.
It's on Collier. It's her first. Fourth team foul now on Lunar Owls. Pardon me, offensive foul. So we'll stay at 3 each as far as team fouls are concerned. For Vinyl down 2, and Ryan Howard has not scored. You can take that right now, right?
I was going to say, you got to feel good about that to a certain capacity. Credit to the Owls for taking away a lot of her easy looks and touches.
Oh, Enrique nearly knocked it in over Collier. Hard screen, Gray, there she is on the roll. B's got 11 points, second Owl in double figures. 35-31. Owls led by 5 at the end of 1 quarter. 2-on-1 develops. That's unselfish basketball.
It was the extra touch, and when you got 2-on-1 advantage, they play it to perfection.
Which one? There was like 4 extra touches. Quick 2 for Canada. Diggins-Smith with her right, congested in the lane. Howard did her job. Agumbawale the other way, sling it, Canada. Final minute of this first half. Collier, spin, no good. Now 4 for 8.
That's the one example of a shot. You love that shot, you'll take it all day.
Enrique tries to put the defense on skates. She's flustered. Now 3 for 10 shooting. She's had some decent looks in this first half.
Come on, come on, come on.
I would say that for both teams. You like the shots they're creating, just not going down with the same consistency.
Each head coach gets 1 60-second timeout per half, so DJ Sackman uses his.
Fee, Sky. We're good right now. This side. Throw it in. Set it. Come off. Look. Alicia, get out the space. Let's go.
$32 points combined by the starting trio of Owls, Diggins-Smith, Gray, and Collier. They were all in sync on Saturday, going for 14 apiece by halftime. Notice how DJ Sackman just kind of took his hands and calmed him down. He said, hey, we're good right now. So he's got the complete buy-in here.
And I think that's part of it because you're playing at such a high tempo and fast pace. You want to make sure that you're not getting sped up with how you're approaching it.
Diggins-Smith curling, left open for 3. Makes him pay. It's a long 2 for Diggins-Smith. Now she's got 10. All 3 starters in double figures.
And so Teaspoon had talked about them punching in to Fee, and that's why you saw Jordan Canada stay on the inside, and that's what left Diggins-Smith wide open because of the breakdown in communication.
Howard chisels out space. Missed the lay. Diggins-Smith up on the other end of the floor. 41-33.
Strong push here to close out the half for the Owls.
A 1-point final tied it. 3 seconds for Enrique. Crossover, one-legged. Agumbawale is going to shoot right to the locker room. 3 for 11 first half for Agumbawale. Aaliyah Boston in her starting debut, 10 points, 6 rebounds in the first half, and all 3 Owls in double figures, closing the first half on a 10-2 run. Unrivaled Halftime is presented by Ford. Let's send it to the studio in Atlanta. Monday night in Miami, wrapping up week 2 of Unrivaled on TNT. We're presented by Samsung Galaxy. Game 1 of our doubleheader at recess. Right now a lead for Lunar Owls. Brendan Glasheen and Sarah Kustok. We have Taylor Rooks on the sidelines. So once again, all 3 starters for Lunar Owls are in double figures, shooting a very efficient 14 of 26 combined. As for Vinyl, without De'Erica Hamby, Aaliyah Boston, 10.6 boards. They're getting production from the big, but Arike and Ryan Howard, 7 points combined.
Yeah, and when it's come to the Vinyl, they're creating some quality looks that they want. It's just not been that level of efficiency, in particular from the three-point line. They have struggled. Overall, though, it's about that type of rhythm and figuring out how the Owls are trying to play them defensively, because they certainly had made adjustments knowing that De'Erica Hamby is not out there on the floor.
Let's take a look at our Miller Lite game summary through the first 14 minutes of action. We head into this crucial third quarter to determine our winning score. Owls +4 on the glass, more assisted buckets. What else jumps out to you?
I do. I think it's that three-point line. That's been a major difference, because not only are you missing three-point looks, but those long rebounds, those missed shots are also part of the runouts that Owls are taking advantage of. So they've been able to push in transition, play faster, and find easier opportunities in the open court because of those vast amount of misses that Vinyl has had from deep.
That duo, Arike and Ryan Howard, just 1-3 collectively.
And they just felt a little disjointed.
Howard's made 11 threes here at Unrivaled, coming into this second game of week number 2. Ryan Howard with the shove. That's her third personal. Commits it in the first 19 seconds of the third.
And it's not been the same flow for her. So you could look at the fact that she's 0 of 4 from the field and has not yet scored, but also on the defensive side, just her movements, the way in which she's been able to get the ball has not been what we've been accustomed to seeing throughout the early part of the season.
Gray with the entry feed. Collier spins in and out. Let's send it over to Taylor Rooks.
Thanks, Brendan. Ray, as we begin this second half, what was Teaspoon's message to you all in the locker room?
Our pace, we're playing at a little bit of a slow pace right now, and that's not the pace that we usually play at, so just getting our tempo up.
But you have 10 points so far. How are you finding some success offensively as Aaliyah Boston gets a bucket?
Just bringing the energy, pushing the floor, and being ready to shoot. I'm just trying to make sure that I help keep that tempo up.
And now, speaking of Aaliyah, with the absence of De'Erica Hamby, how have you seen her really establish her presence in this one?
Yeah, Aaliyah, like you just said, she's establishing her presence. She's posting up on the block and getting to her moves and getting to what she knows she can get to. So, yeah, she's doing great.
All right, this is a good game. Appreciate your time. Thanks, Ray. Back to you, Brendan.
Thanks, Taylor. And Sarah, you've been uber impressed by Ray Burrell and how she's looked over the weekend.
I mean, Taylor may be so impressed that she had her Tennessee Volunteer orange. Ray may want to steal that fit from Taylor, made her feel comfortable, her alma mater. But no, Ray is a player that I think the growth for her and the ceiling is so high because of how many skills she brings to the table in the areas that you know she can keep refining. She's quick, she's fast, she's got size, all of those things to go along with such a great shot and a good feel for the game.
Ryan Howard has a chance to get her first points of the night. Oh, by the way, the Gamecocks and Volunteers are going head-to-head tonight.
Don't take them away from our games.
Well, I'm just mentioning. That's all.
I'm teasing. What a great matchup. Tremendous job. And that's the fun part of watching these players that we've gotten to talk to, of those that they know from the college days, they know from the high school ranks, from playing AAU, going on to having teammates in the league, and getting used to those that you're familiar with and those that you're not familiar with, and how that will continue to help you grow and evolve your game.
Gray in attack mode. Rebound Boston, 6-point game. Vinyl very much in this one. Can Ryan Howard get cooking? Stopped defensively by Dickens Smith, but they keep it alive. That's a zinger of a pass. Arike to Ryan Howard.
And maybe that'll get Howard going a little bit. Get her a quick one, see it go through.
That is the 6th assist for Arike Agumbawale.
Well, you mentioned earlier just how she's facilitated and continued to take that role on with great responsibility.
This past summer, averaged just over 5 per game, top 10. Willing passer, but knows how to score it. Having her issues from the floor in this game, now 3 for 13.
And with all that being said, to have it be a 4-point game. That's where if you're Vinyl, you feel pretty good about that.
Boston grabs it back from Collier and puts it back up and in. 14 for Aaliyah Boston.
Started with the work before the catch. She was so deep and had Collier sealed underneath the basket before going up with it.
Teresa Weatherspoon has talked to us since training camp about pouring into her players. They pour into me, and she knows what makes them tick to get the most out of them. And she's found it with Aaliyah Boston. Getting that start tonight, she has been locked in.
She's been locked in, and I also think give credit to Enrique Gubawale, because part of it was her getting Boston touches early, working the pick and roll, make sure she was feeding her to get her comfortable and get her going towards the basket. And that's a part of her leadership as well.
Courtney Williams, pull-up, splash. Into the action with Austin joining Collier, the lone starter. Starting trio for Vinyl out there. Canada at the scores table. We go at 3:40 to go. Howard a 3, too strong. Winning score is determined by the team leading after 3. It is just a 4-point edge for Lunar Owls. Makes this quarter so compelling and important. Williams connects. Get a timeout on the floor. We'll be right back to Miami here at Wayfair Arena.
Let's go!
3:05, Barbie is in the building. Angel Reese and Rose coming off their first win the other day. They look to knock off the undefeated Laces here in Miami. Moments ago, Angel's opponent tonight, Kayla McBride, caught up with Taylor Rooks.
Still undefeated headed into tonight's matchup. What have you learned so far about just the talent and skill set of this group?
I mean, it's the pace. You know, you put great players on the floor with more space and you give them the ability to be physical and play with pace. It's a lot of fun, you know, and I really enjoyed getting to know my teammates as well and just seeing, and you have to figure out the game within the game too, you know, going against different matchups, different skill sets, and it brings out your skill set, but it's also like the game within the game. So as a competitor, it's a lot of fun.
I know how much you enjoy playing with Alyssa Thomas. Unfortunately, she won't be on the floor tonight. How will you all fill that lack of presence from her?
I mean, it can't just be one person. There's no one person that can fill what AT does for us. It's collective, you know. We have to do a little bit, give a little bit more of ourselves in different aspects, especially in the playmaking, rebounding, and just the toughness, you know. And she'll be on the bench with us, thank goodness. But, you know, we want to get this win for her with her out today.
And lastly, what do you need to do defensively against this Rose team?
I mean, they're really good, especially, you know, Chelsea Gray, Ka can get to the paint anytime she wants. Angel's really great on the boards. You know, they got Slim, and then Lexi had a great game last game. So it's going to take a collective effort, you know, and we want to push the pace and be ourselves. But, you know, also it's knowing your personnel. We want to make sure we keep Chelsea out the mid-range and, you know, limit Ka's into the rim and just play our game, too. You know, we really want to focus on us and what we can do to win the game. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the matchup.
Game within the game. I'm excited for this one. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Taylor.
Good stuff from Taylor and Kayla McBride, who is second in Unrivaled in scoring at 23.7 points per game. Only behind her Minnesota teammate, co-founder Nafisa Collier. A kickball, 12 seconds on the shot clock for Owls, leading by 6 and in position to determine that winning score for the fourth quarter. Williams looks to dance around the screen, finds a window for Collier. Austin gets an opportunity. Austin, a late foul is called on Aaliyah Boston. That's her third.
It's been physical up and down here. There's been a lot of contact, and that's what you love to see out of this league. We just heard Kaylee Fry talking to Taylor about that right here. Austin using her body. And a little bit there, but as we've seen it up and down, you got to make sure to finish through the contact, because there's been a handful of situations off the break in these last few possessions that we've seen some missed shots because of that type of resistance at the rim.
1 for 2 for Shakira Austin, 49-41. Austin with 7 points off the bench. She's already surpassed her scoring average of 4.7. Box out by Collier. Williams pushes pace for Owls. And to grow this lead, Collier for 3. Burrell, Canada, and Boston, the trio for Vinyl. Ray Burrell transition tray. Courtney Williams works around the ball screen and hits. Shimmy shaking back on defense.
Pulling up in that mid-range, that's a beautiful look. And that's after the Vinyl had been doubling some off of those ball screens.
And the WNBA in field goals attempted from mid-range, 4.8. It's an 8-0 Owls run. Canada for 3. That would have been a big shot to cut it to 7. But now the Owls can grow the lead. Austin gets a touch. Staying on this side, to shoot.
How do you like those hands from Jordan Canada? That should have been an easy bucket for Austin on the inside with that type of mismatch. She brings it down, though, just enough off the pass to allow Canada to utilize, we know, those elite handwork with an elite defender.
Alicia Gray back in, 13 points. Waiting for the screen. Gray penetrates, lofts it up and in. That was pretty. Okay, Leash. Going under a minute here in the third. Back door. Canada. No. 10-0 scoring run. Owls looking for more. Williams. 3-on-2.
Excellent recovery by Gray.
Almost went down.
Yeah. Stopped on a dime.
53-41. Williams, oh goodness, what a pass.
She works that right through the arms of Boston. It was a beauty.
Courtney Williams, third assist. It was a dime, 12-0 run. Vinyl can't buy a hoop. 15 seconds. Well, for Vinyl, you want another stop, hopefully here, to limit that winning score total. As of now, would be 66 points. Williams, knifing inside, got her own miss. Late contest by Boston. 66 is the winning score. An additional 11. Tack that on to the team leading after 3. That's how you get there. As we'll head to the fourth quarter when we return. C-Dub helping out Owls, leading by 14. You're watching Unrivaled on TNT, presented by Samsung Galaxy. Unrivaled on TNT is brought to you by Ford. Built Ford proud. Just kind of hoping Sarah Kustok would swag and surf for us coming back.
I need Taylor to teach me. She's the one who got it all for us, but
did not utilize the off day properly.
Look, this building, this arena, this atmosphere, this environment, it has been jumping. It's been tremendous. And music, the play, the performance, the fans, everything has been everything we could ask for and more.
It's a classed up nightclub for basketball. 55-41, Lunar Owls with a 14-point lead. Winning score is 66 points. Courtney Williams has propelled the offense. Stop and start here, firing, no good. For Vinyl, Arike Agumbawale and Ryan Howard have combined 4 for 23 shooting and just 1 for 7 from 3. The fourth quarter is commercial free. It's brought to you by AT&T.
And those are the ones that just haven't been falling for Vinyl. Three-point shot has been tough to come by for everyone, 3 of 16.
Gray goes hunting, throws it inside. Collier working on Howard. There's a scuff for Ryan Howard. Stare down for Nafisa. Try to channel something here, at least maybe to carry into next week.
If the ball's not going through, try it on the defensive end.
As Collier banks it in.
That's where Collier is so savvy, because she gets Howard up in the air off that bump. That bump creates space for her to get a clean look.
Another night at the office for Nafisa. Build a league to dominate. 17 boards, 16 rebounds, 17 points, 3 blocks. It's so amazing you can barely spit it out.
By no means comparing the two, but Teaspoon was talking to us earlier in talking about Aaliyah Boston, of teaching the finesse along with the physicality.
Backdoor, Canada. Nice pass by Arike.
Beautiful cut. But that's the balance that Collier strikes so well of those two aspects.
More on Nafisa Collier from Taylor Rooks.
Made from my position, taking all those extra people out of the paint, having fun by yourself on one-on-one coverage is a dream for post players. Sophia's really just enjoying this. She said it's cool to transfer skills from individual workouts to her gameplay. She's not worried about getting a good shot or being embarrassed or trying new things, and she feels like her skill set is skyrocketing. And I'd say that's some scary words for this league if she isn't even at her best, guys.
Arike finally gets a 3 to drop. First one in a while, her second tonight. 12 points for Agumbawale. Down to 9. Vinyl still needs 18 points to win.
And while it looks like a significant deficit, they made a strong push in their loss to the Laces on Friday. Good hands by Agumbawale. And a big part of that was Agumbawale knocking down 3-point shots. You start to see him go through an inch into that, and sometimes the pressure and the momentum shifts in such a way that you need to worry less about the deficit and what the actual score is and just start stringing together solid possessions.
Yeah, Vinyl outscored Laces 19-12 in that fourth quarter. Shot 54% from the floor, 43% from 3 without De'Erica Hamby tonight, out due to personal reasons. Gray hits the 1 for 2, 17 points for Alicia Gray to match her teammate Collier. Howard for 3. Okay, rattles that one in. It's an 8-point game. First 3 for Ryan Howard tonight. Diggin Smith feeds Fee, falling away. Fee is eating. 61-51. 19 for Collier.
As a trademark shot of hers, and there's not a whole lot you can do because of the space she creates and the release point that she has with her height.
That time she fouls Arike. That's the 4th on Collier. You get 6 in Unrivaled until disqualification. But incentive for Vinyl, if you chip away and Those fouls can add up at any point in an untimed quarter. 5 on the shot clock, that remains on. Canada, catch and shoot, drains it. 7-point game, 11 for Canada. Diggins-Smith gets downhill, rising Ryan Howard, the swat, but a foul is called.
Take a look at this again, strong take by Diggins-Smith. And it looks like Howard got all ball, but it was with the body. I'm curious what happens here because it appeared as though there was a bump on the body prior to the swipe, because the swipe got mostly ball, and if anything it would be hand, and ball is a part of the hand. But I'm curious if this may be overturned just given the bump initially as Diggins-Smith is going towards the basket.
Teresa Weatherspoon has challenged the call. Let's listen into the hubs.
No more giving up threes. Switch everything and play that line. Hard switches. Hard switches. Don't play off too much. All right? They hit 3 threes, fine. What? Okay, good. Listen, play the line, switch everything. Get it out and go. All right? Right into 21. Get the ball inside, you're operating. Look, knock these down. Listen, play the line. Play the 3-point line. Fee, start high. Alicia, go set it. All right, Fee, you're here. Come to it. Throw it in, Sky.
Shot. Reek. You got all this right here. It's opened up. The phone was up. Get in there. Get in there. Get the traditional N1 if you have to. If you're wide open, knock it down. Knock it down. If you get here and draw, we got shooters. We got them all over the place, okay? All right? Same action. Same action. That keeps the floor spread for us. We good? Come on. And when we...
I'm right here. I said that.
Yeah, Reek. Stay right there, Reek. JC, bring it over. Bring it over. Here comes Reek. Bang. We come. Boom, 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 boom. We come. It's quick action. It's a quick action. Get out here if you have to. If you're wide open, bust it. All right?
Well, there must be conclusive evidence to overturn the call, which was a foul on Howard, her 5th. And in the act of shooting, but was there too much body there?
That's what I can't tell from that angle, how much occurred before. Because again, I do think that was all ball. I think it was a clean swipe at the end. But it was more about, did you hit with too much body on the contact? You see clapping by the Owls.
The call on the court is confirmed. Personal foul on Ryan Howard.
Okay, call is confirmed. Gerda Gatling is our crew chief, delivers the message.
Yeah, as she said she got the body before the block. And so that's what it was about. It was not about getting it being all ball, getting the block at the end. It was about hitting her body initially, which was where the foul occurred.
Lunar Owls collectively 6 of 6 at the free throw line tonight. That's worth 2. Owls within 3 of the winning score of 66. Canada looking for a lane. Diggins-Smith reaches in. Her first, and the 3rd on Lunar Owls as a team. Owls look to be the first club off to a 4-0 start. A stop and a 3 wins it. Canada fires over Collier, hits it. Now they're knocking down the 3 ball, but is it too little, too late? A 3 wins it for Owls. Diggins-Smith already has 2 game winners this year. Gray coming to set a screen. Skylar Diggins-Smith down the runway. They're within 1.
That's a strong take, and you like the fact that you still went for 2 in the open look that you had and didn't worry about the score getting to 3.
65-57, 9 points needed for Vinyl. Arike off balance, no. Here we go. Gray's got 1 game winner already. The pull-up for the win, it's good. Leash unleashed, 67-57. Lunar Owls 4-0.
Seen tremendous balance with this group. Everyone has been unselfish with when they're looking for their own and when they're facilitating. Alicia Gray at the end knows she could step right into a easy mid-range look for her. This is automatic. And the Owls once again tack on another win as they remain undefeated.
40 points in her last 2 games. Alicia Gray is shooting at a very high level. 19 points, joining Taylor Rooks. Taylor.
Thanks so much, Brendan. Here with the one and only Alicia Gray. Another win for the Lunar Owls, 19 points and a game winner from you. Walk me through how you found success in those final moments.
I mean, we're all W players, so we're all hoopers. So, I mean, you just got to get in where you get in. You got to lock in. Basketball is a game of runs, so you just got to get buckets.
And this morning, your head coach was talking to us about how you had to keep them out of rhythm. How would you evaluate the defensive performance tonight?
I think we did really well, keeping them out of rhythm. I mean, they're all shot makers, so when they shoot it out, all I can do is hope they miss. So, I mean, that's the main thing, just hope they miss, get it, and go score.
Now, even though you all got another win, you have an off day tomorrow, the full week ahead of you. What improvements do you want to make and build on this victory?
Just keep the flow of what we're doing going. I think we're playing well. We're starting to gel together, so just keep the momentum going.
Well, before you go, I know this crowd wants to hear you be an owl. Give it to me. Thank you so much. Great win, Alicia. Back to you, Brendan.
Great stuff from Alicia Gray. Here's the assist of the game, presented by State Farm.
A lot to choose from, but you know what we got. Courtney Williams finding Nafisa Collier on the inside. Beautiful pick and roll play, read to perfection. Drawing 2 defenders and an easy look for Fee, as there was a tremendous amount of balance here for the Owls tonight.
Owls are known for their excellent vision. That was a good one. 67-57. Lunar Owls now 4-0. Collier 19, Gray 19. Taylor, Sarah, myself, we're back. Let's go to Atlanta first with Lauren, Candace, and Renee. 2 of our doubleheader coming up between Laces and Rose, 2 of the better shooting teams here in Miami so far, and 2 stout defensive clubs. 3-0 Laces, 1-2 Rose, fresh off its first victory of the season, while Laces wants to keep pace with Lunar Owls Basketball Club. It's Unrivaled on TNT, presented by Samsung Galaxy here at Wayfair Arena. Hoping to take you home strong here on this Monday night. Brendan Glasheen, Sarah Kustok. We have Taylor Rooks joining us on the sidelines. Laces, awfully impressive start. They shoot the ball well. They boast the top scoring defense in Unrivaled. Without Alyssa Thomas tonight, they need everything from Tiffany Hayes.
It's going to be a challenge, but Tiffany Hayes, I believe, is up to it, and she certainly showed that the other night in the Laces win against the Vinyl on Friday. You look at how she can score, the ways in which her game is so adaptable to this 3-on-3 style because she can hit it from 3. She gets downhill so well. An excellent read of a defense and how to slice through, and also how to facilitate for her teammates when it comes to the Rose. Yeah, you know her, Kalia Copper can get it done on both ends, and she's someone who has been excellent throughout the early part of this Unrivaled season. It's not just about the numbers, it's her trying to be the glue to bring this team together. It's not yet translated into the wins that they anticipate, but they have an opportunity here tonight.
Copper is 6th in the league in scoring at 18.7 points per game. The point guard, Chelsea Gray, who hit the game winner, paces the league in assists out there with 305 Barbie. Angel Reese averaging close to a double-double. For Laces, no Alyssa Thomas, so Stephanie Dolson, the multi-time champion in college at UConn, and a WNBA champion as well, will man the middle with McBride and Hayes alongside. Our officials, Gerda Gatling is our crew chief, Andrew Goodman is our referee, and Shim Rivera is our umpire. Laces 3-0, Rose 1-2, Dolson against Reese, tracked down by Gray, and off we go. A pair of screens for Chelsea Gray, one of the great facilitators in women's basketball history. 5 on the timer, Copper fires for 3, and that one is strong. What changes, Sarah, with Alyssa Thomas not in the lineup tonight?
Everything. She just does so much, and she does so much on both ends. She is built for this 3-on-3 game with how she pushes the pace, rebounding, communication, leadership, and it's so much on both ends of the floor.
Tiffany Hayes, there she is, top 10 in the league in scoring, rebounding, and assists. Pours one in for Laces.
And you don't fill those gaps. So we heard Kayla McBride talk to Taylor Rooks in the previous game about that, but there's different areas that you could still play your strengths.
Gray connects from the elbow, or even at 2. Tiffany Hayes is having a blast out there. She said she's been playing point guard now for the first time since she was like 12 years old. Has absorbed this challenge, pulls up on the run. Box out by Reese. Gray for 3. Another for Chelsea Gray. She hates to lose, doesn't she?
You could see it in her eyes. You could tell it, and that's why it would be so much fun to watch tonight.
Answer by Hayes.
The back and forth of both these teams, and to even us talking with Brittany Sykes earlier today, and she's like, we all haven't spent a lot of time together in the past.
Reese is fighting for room with 4 to fire. Gray just hit the rim.
So you think about former teammates throughout the course of whether it's the pros, college, high school, you name it, there's a lot of acclimation process, learning tendencies, and getting used to your teammates that I think the Rose are still figuring out.
Kayla McBride, too strong on the triple. 11 made threes from McBride. There she is cutting thanks to the Dolson offensive rebound. Stephanie Dolson, the lone Lace, not averaging double figures, but she's at 9 points per game. Shooting very efficiently, 11 of 17, has hit some threes as Reese swishes one in front of her.
That, though, is a pass that Reese did not expect from Chelsea Gray. It didn't end in a turnover, but she caught it quickly, didn't even turn her head. That's where Chelsea Gray is always a step ahead in how she sees things to create looks for you.
It's a great call out, Sarah, because Rose trying to protect the basketball better. 9.7 turnovers a game. Fake the pass, take the 3, halfway down and out. Reese led the WNBA in offensive rebounding, pounds that rock, turning. Reese looking. 3 seconds.
Tip. Point chase. Point chase.
Andrew Wade delivering the message. He continues to tell us this group makes it so easy. Their high IQ and their willingness to process what he has to say. Hayes for 3. Call it a long 2. Dolson collected the offensive rebound and was fouled on the putback. Here's Dolson, a career 86% free throw shooter, former gold medalist in 3x3 in Tokyo with Lace's teammate out tonight, Jackie Young. Dolson knows how to play, complete pro.
100% in all phases, but I think to your point about Andrew Wade of saying tonight they try new things. There's different looks, different combinations. How you approach this is different without Alyssa Thomas, but that also gives you a challenge to approach it with.
I liked his confidence too when he told us, you'll see. You'll see what these new changes are looking like for the 27-year-old young buck. More from Taylor Rooks.
Yeah, I was going to say, Brendan, it was really fun. He was a little coy about what we were going to see. He said, I'm going to test out some lineups, some coverages. But he, of course, did say, Alyssa Thomas, it's a huge loss. She does so much on both sides. She's everywhere. He said when she went down and hurt all of them because, of course, they care for her as a person. But he said the main thing is we're going to keep seeing how we can outsmart the other team because that's been their MO throughout this league, Brendan.
Copper, pull up, in and out. Rose now 3 for 9. And Thomas out. She gets so many easy looks also on the break for Laces to ignite transition.
And that's what it comes down to. So for a team that wants to play fast at tempo with pace, Alyssa Thomas is such a huge part of that.
McBride looking for Dolson.
Kate Martin checking in for the Lakers.
Kate Martin gets her first minutes here tonight. 11 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, and maybe most impressive, the 2 steals per night. Just a force on that end, making it difficult, and Lexi Hall is in for Rose. We've got some fan favorites in the building on this Monday night.
A lot of enthusiasm here from the crowd.
Hall was impressive Saturday, 19 points in 10 minutes. In the first 2 games of the year, just 3 points in 9 minutes total. Stevens found the angle. Rose by 1.
And that was a tough one, but realized she had size to be able to get it off over Hayes.
Desiree Stevens, 16 points against Mist in the win, the first of the season. Hall thought she had a block, but there was too much body, evidently. Kayla McBride going to the line.
Kayla McBride has got some shape to her game. Take a look at that cross pass, Stevens. There's the push on the body with the right arm as Hall comes into McBride. The numbers are impressive, but where it's so tough to try and match up with her is she is a lights out shooter. Feels like she doesn't miss. She's got such great range. She's got the quickest shot, but then you try and step out on her to force a closeout and she will blow right by you.
McBride now a perfect 7 for 7 at the free throw line here in Miami. With 2 points, so it's 10-9 Laces. On the feed, as touched by Stevens. Brittany Sykes gets her first minutes of the night, joining Stevens and Hall, so second unit for Nola Henry. The 2 youngest head coaches in Unrivaled, Nola Henry, 31 years old, Andrew Wade, 27 years old, 6 years as an assistant coach with the Washington Mystics. Oh, Tiffany Hayes, tip with the drip to the rim. 6 points for Hayes.
Blow by. Nice screen step by Martin, pulls her out, and take a look at that step through past Stevens. And that's where it's so much fun watching this, because it's not necessarily big to small or just taking advantage of single coverage matchups, because there's no backside help, because there's not an opportunity necessarily to put a defense in rotation. Those one-on-one plays are something that these individuals are starting to really key in on, of what that looks like possession by possession.
And Hayes told us, playing more point guard now with this group, everyone knows where to be, so that helps me out. She's discussed that she's staying in the moment as it pertains to her future. Playing professional basketball with the different seasons, going overseas. She's happy she chose this option, Unrivaled in Miami.
Well, she's a perfect fit for it. And I think, too, her just talking about, it's not necessarily point guard as you always understand it. It's a lot of it, the organization aspect of it, and she's a vet that gets that.
Sykes converts from 3. The pass was slightly delayed, but they got it to her. Reese collects it for Rose. Sykes again. Reese climbs the ladder. And the foul's on Reese. Her first over the back.
Angel Reese, I just snapped that. I had some up to take a look if there was, I think there was maybe a little bit of a push on the back of Hayes before going up and grabbing that. It's tough when you have that big of a size advantage, though.
Hayes is not shy to get her body in there. O glass, defensive glass don't matter.
Well, you know you got to box this team out.
Rare missed layup by Tiffany Hayes. Angel tries to say, ball don't lie. Driving the other way, and Martin got a piece of Reese.
Foul on number 20, Kate Martin.
Good hard foul, and Reese looks to make him pay at the line.
And this is just a good push. You see here that she's going to come right through Martin, who gets her with the body. And that's where this Rose team, whether it's through penetration, getting in the post, pounding the paint, offensive rebounds, they do have an advantage against the Laces with how they can attack you in the post.
Rose tied with Vinyl for the top free throw percentage at Unrivaled, 78% as a team. Reese is now 4 for 6. 1 point lead for Rose. Good hands by Reese. Martin makes him pay. McBride, Dolson, Martin for Laces. Sykes, Reese, and Hall, the trio for Rose. 7 lead changes here in the first. Backdoor pass, power dribble, Lexi Hull could not bake it in. Reese gets the hands in, a little revenge on Martin. Shovel it, Hull, 3, bottom. An engaged Angel Reese.
Some quick hands at the other
Lexi
end.
Hull and Kate Martin. Shot clock is off. 5 seconds left in the opening quarter. Kayla McBride puts that head down. McBride tied up. It's a held ball. Possession arrow points right over here to our left. Point 3 for Laces. We're staying here.
Not even gonna, it's 1 point. All right, 24.
McBride to toss it in. Catch. Martin, and they're going to count this.
Felt late.
There was .3 on the clock. I don't think there was enough time there. Almost have to catch that midair, right?
Yeah, and just more of a tip shot. I think it was still in her hand very much so when the shot went off, so. We'll see. It's been a fun start, though, to this first quarter. We are all tied up with more Unrivaled here on TNT.
Unrivaled on TNT is brought to you by Great Taste, 96 calories, Miller Lite, tastes like Miller time. And by AT&T, connecting changes everything. Unrivaled on TNT, presented by Samsung Galaxy. 2-point lead for Rose. They waved off the Kate Martin jumper. Did not release the ball in time, which we expected.
We expected. Good look, it needed to be a little bit quicker, but overall, what a great start for both of these teams here in the first quarter.
4 points, 4 rebounds for Angel Reese, making her presence felt on the O glass. There she is. Reese is fouled by Dolson.
And that's great recognition of Dolson quickly sliding under to try and help off that play with Martin stuck underneath for Reese, but it was just a little bit too much body. That's been the fun part of watching these first 2 weeks, is the level of physicality. We can talk about the fast-paced play, which is a huge part of it, but also there is pressure on the ball, off the ball, at the basket, all of these things. I feel like the officials are doing a really nice job of striking the right balance of both.
Angel Reese, 22 years old, 1 professional season with the Chicago Sky. Cardoso trying to recruit more free agents here at Unrivaled to bring the Sky back. Dolson, a former Sky champion, connecting to put the Laces within 1. Lexi Hull, answer. Long board to Dolson. No Alyssa Thomas tonight for Laces, so extended minutes for Dolson. Martin off the catch, yes!
Lexi Hull just over-helping a little bit too much, it felt like, on that McBride drive, and because of it, there was plenty of room for the 3.
6 threes now for Kate Martin in Miami. Averaged just 2.6 points per game in Las Vegas this past year. An extended role here at Unrivaled for finding more out about her game. Dolson gets caught for another foul. It's her second. Last 30 seconds.
Watch the knee there on the screen. And I know she's not saying that she's moving out and it is somewhat within shoulder width, but it feels like there was a slight slide to the right that caused the run-in.
11-year pro, Stephanie Dolson. Big Mama Steph, the nickname of Dolson. Finds Copper as she comes around the screen, and anything you can do, we can do better. It's on Reese. That's her second. Well, the officials have established how they're going to call the screens in this game in particular. Hayes maneuvering. Dolson was caught in her way, just trying to make space for her. Even at 21, Chelsea Gray scored the first 5 points for Rose. That foul's on Reese. It's a foul. I thought they called a travel. It's a foul on Reese, her 3rd.
Well, she has been adamant the last 2 foul calls about challenging it. Nola Henry has been very staunch in her position of no. But sometimes it's not going to be overturned if there's enough movement.
McBride for 3. Lead back to Laces. Well, the top 3-point shooting team at Unrivaled, 41%. Started 0 for 3. They've made their last 3 threes. Want to get out and run. McBride, same spot. Old board Hayes. Top 10 in the league in rebounding. Dolson on the tap out. Hayes, 3, got it. Timeout Rose. These are the Laces we've come to know here in Miami. 41% 3-point shooting team. Started 0 for 3, now they're 4 for 8.
And it's tough when you're scrambling off of an offensive rebound to try and close out once again from 3.
I'm gonna step up either way. Either you want to pursue and she comes in, or just switch.
She's not. It's bumping him right there, Bobby.
Back door.
learn. You're getting a DHO, that gets you to Z, go back door. Z, it's going to be there. You're going to overplay. But y'all, our shots.
Teammates, all right? It's a really great segment there. Go first play right here. Mac with the ball. Steph, you flash. Work to get a good angle. Hit. Mac, you fly off it. Fake DHO. Tip, you're coming off. DHO, get to your left hand, get downhill. All right? Got it?
And I'm flying off and that shit come behind me, right?
Yep, exactly. Hey, keep defending at a high level. Let's get stops. Let's go lace on 3. 1, 2, 3.
It's not just a high IQ group, but the Laces came in excellent shape. Andrew Wade's club has collectively played 350 more professional games than any other club at Unrivaled. They have bought in. Up by 6 without Jackie Young, without Alyssa Thomas. Azare Stevens. For Rose, no. Copper, yes.
Copper just slides in there. It's a great job getting positioning to be able to come up with that offensive rebound.
First points for Copper, who we spotlighted early, came into this game 6th in Unrivaled in scoring. Hayes wants to go to school here against Stevens. Crossover, 3 in the air. Ooh, rattles out. The face she made was the one that went viral on Instagram. To all the soulmates out there.
Loose ball foul on Stephanie Dolson.
Dolson just picked up her 3rd loose ball foul. That's a test for Andrew Wade tonight, Sarah, is Dolson's foul trouble with Thomas inactive.
Yes, the importance of her availability on the floor.
Make no mistake, Laces has proven they can go small if necessary. As Andrew Wade told us before the game, we're going to have some wrinkles tonight.
Yeah, it is about bodies, it's about availability to run, and also combating a Rose team that has a lot of bigs and does so much of their work in operating in the post in the front court.
Here's a small ball approach with Martin, McBride, and Hayes. It's Gray, Copper, and Azare Stevens for Rose. Beating Azare, rising. Rebound Hayes, her 6th rebound.
McBride using her body there, good job.
Hayes got whacked in the eye. Numbers, Gray fires. McBride squeezes it for Laces. Martin pulls up. Chelsea Gray puts the head down against her former teammate in Vegas. Drew the foul on Martin. Oh, they're going to get McBride for the reach-in.
Official timeout.
We get a timeout on the floor. You're watching Unrivaled on TNT, presented by Samsung Galaxy.
Point X. Hey! Chase, pass! That's okay, I got it next time, though. Watch. Good job.
are the best players, most of the best players in the world competing, and you love to hear how they communicate with one another, the things they're seeing on the floor. Tiffany Hayes being one of those, and we talked about her being a little bit of a different role as the facilitator, the organizer, the point guard, and there's so many aspects that continue to be visible and how that grows others' games. And so it's been fun to watch, but what a competitive atmosphere here for both of these teams, despite being a little shorthanded, missing some players, how they're filling the gaps.
Sarah Kustok, Taylor Rooks, Brendan Glasheen, great to have you with us. Final day of week 2. Game 2 of our doubleheader. A late foul is called on Copper. So Kayla McBride is going to the free throw line for Laces, one worth 2 points. Natisha Heidemann is on the floor for Laces on a relief player contract across the league, so considering the injury situation with no Young, with no Alyssa Thomas, Heidemann placed on the Laces roster ahead of tonight's action.
And that's part of a challenge too, because while there's a lot of read and react and free-flowing nature, there are plays, there are calls, there are actions that you've started to become accustomed to with your teams.
Heidemann was outstanding Saturday against Mist as a member of Phantom. 18 points on 7 of 13 shooting. Last touch by Sykes, reaching over Heidemann. Hayes getting a breather for Laces, so that's why Heidemann's in. 2.5 to go, second quarter. Laces with the ball and leading. Kayla McBride, second in the league in scoring. Heidemann rises for DeGray. Sykes gave up the jumper. Do they award her continuation?
I think they should. She was in her gather. Yeah,
you're on it.
That's some great long strides by Sykes. The amount of ground she could cover off her dribbles. She is so quick, but she's patient with getting to her spots on the floor.
Sykes said it was gratifying for Rose to win its first game the other day. It was cool, it was dope to see our internal chats play out on the floor, and she didn't have her best day, but super complimentary of learning from Chelsea Gray, who she only played one season with in Los Angeles.
Brendan, for a second I thought you were talking about our internal chats. I was like, I don't think we cleared our space for our group chats yet to be on air.
Yeah, I don't think we're there yet. No, meaning our chats. I very much enjoy them. 2-point game. Hayes. Clogged lane there. Jump ball. Again, Unrivaled uses the possession arrow, so pointing left. And we're staying over here. Laces ball.
Some great hands. Brittany Sykes, you know what she could do on the defensive end. Throughout the course of her career, just elite at that side, and that's a good tie up there.
2 minutes to go in the first half. Heidemann spins, playing on the pivot foot, bounces off her ankle, 2 on the shot clock, leans in. She's hit with a travel. Excellent defense by Copper.
Who was just kind of shaking her head after that. Heidemann doing what she can to try and at least get up a look.
Kayla McBride in, Heidemann on a relief player contract. Again, played the other night for Phantom. Given the situation with Alyssa Thomas out tonight, Jackie Young remains out with the left knee injury. Heidemann with the Laces to end week 2. Sykes on the turnaround. Box out to Hayes. McBride for 3. Kayla McBride now 1 for 5 from distance. Copper the other way. Congested jumper. Martin lobbing to Hayes. Great idea, but Hayes ran out of real estate.
And a tough miscommunication because you had 2 close out on Martin, and Hayes would have been wide open underneath the basket.
Isn't that kind of play, when we talk to coaches about, we want to play fast, but then you got to be in control when you do something like that,
Yeah,
right?
I think that was just a miscue, a poor pass,
Okay.
and because I think it was breakdown defensively where you don't want two on the ball in that situation.
Laces with 7 turnovers.
1 minute.
Excellent defense by Sykes. An all-defensive team selection multiple times. Now the eyes are on Hayes, making sure she's all right.
Well, she falls hard, so Sykes reaches in, and I don't know if that's what caused it. There was a little bit of a left arm pull down with Sykes' left arm, and she was just trying to swim through to come back and get the ball.
Hayes, the team leader with 10 points, stays in the game. Tiffany Hayes.
Strong.
Wow.
The bump off and the contact she created gave her space.
They knew they needed the golden lace-like performance from Hayes, who went for 26 on Friday night. Getting it done defensively too. 11 seconds on the shot clock for Rose. Gray. Sykes for 3. Book it. 8 points for Sykes. Martin comes off the pick. Hayes to McBride. Got them all! Laces, 6 3-pointers. 2 for McBride. Shot clock is off for Chelsea Gray. Backdoor, Sykes scores. Hayes fires. Oh.
Your score at halftime. Laces 34.
Sarah got me leaning over here.
Pretty
we thought
close.
that was going down.
One of those are, before we know it.
All right, the offense really ramped up there down the stretch. 2-point game at recess. Laces 34, Rose 32. Laces want to stay unbeaten to stay atop the standings with Lunar Owls. Here comes Unrivaled halftime, presented by Ford. Unrivaled on TNT is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Back in Miami for Unrivaled on TNT, presented by Samsung Galaxy. Alyssa Thomas out tonight, dealing with an injury, out with the right leg, a collision the other night. Tiffany Hayes, Kayla McBride carrying the load with 12 points apiece. Laces with a 2-point lead, 34-32. Some high-level defense. Brendan Glasheen, Sarah Kustok, Taylor Rooks is joining us on the sidelines. Well, all things considered, no Jackie Young still for the Laces. Thomas doing without her tonight. They're doing just fine.
Yeah, they are, but that's where you would anticipate that there may be a little more turnovers because of how much she takes care of the ball, and so for the Laces, that's a big part of it. And also get Kayla cooking. McBride just 8 field goal attempts. You want to continue to make sure that she's getting quality looks and feeding her the basketball. When it comes to the Rose, where they have an advantage is in the paint. Make sure that you continue to attack the glass, get inside, and the defensive impact, I think, is something that we know this is a high-powered scoring Laces team, but they can pressure the basketball. They've shown an ability to double. How can they be more chaotic on that end to force some of those turnovers that they've done a nice job against this Laces crew?
Those are your keys for a comeback, brought to you by Icy Hot, official topical pain partner of Unrivaled. Second half is underway. The clock has not started. It's the final timed quarter of the night. 7 minutes each quarter until we reach the fourth. It's an untimed session in which we work our way to the winning score, which is determined by the team ahead. An additional 11 points tacked on to that total to determine the winning score. Tiffany Hayes is vibing with the music.
Yes, we all are.
You've been feeling, I mean, you've loved the DJ here in the Sephora sound booth.
I keep talking about these mashups. I'm down with it. I see your shoulders bouncing.
Copper. Rebound Dolson.
Oh, I did all the hard work, just couldn't get the finish.
Kalia Copper tonight, just 2 points, 1 of 7 shooting as McBride flings one up. She is fouled, shooting a 3. Of course, Chelsea Gray doesn't think so. It's the first on Gray. Shout out to the DJ booth.
Hey, much respect. Got this whole place bouncing.
This free throw is worth 3 points from McBride since she was fouled behind the line. And she hits it. 15 points from McBride.
Significant. But that, continue having her get up looks. That's what I'd love to see for this Laces team.
We have 11 lead changes in the first half. 5-point lead. Reese is going to the line. Laces' biggest lead was 6 in the second quarter. Rose at one point led by 4. Angel Reese on the night, 8.6 rebounds, 3 turnovers. Now 2 for 3 at the line. Laces look to go to 4-0 and keep up with Lunar Owls. Those two teams, by the way, match up this Friday on TNT.
Ooh. Let's go.
Copper hammers Hayes. Third on Copper.
It felt like there's a little bit more physicality in letting players play there in that first quarter. Called slightly more tightly here in the second and third. You see the body of Copper getting Hayes as she attacks the basket. But where Hayes is so good with her quickness is that she creates an angle and gets underneath to defend her. And that's what forces that type of contact that she can then initiate.
Hayes with 14, biggest lead now for Laces, 7 points. Gray, that's where she hit the game winner for their first win the other night. Comes up empty. Hayes has the mismatch with Reese, got her in the air momentarily. McBride from the Samsung sign, can't hit. Reese up the other end, carves out space. Copper puts one in, just her second field goal on 8 tries.
Great creation by Reese. Patience at the end of her dribble, and she's the one who opened up that look.
Reese with 2 assists now tonight. Hayes for 3. Copper climbing, and Reese is fouled. More free throws for Rose. They are 4 for 5 collectively.
They've done a great job at attacking the basket. And some of it has been the pick and rolls, but a lot of it has just been penetration, working the paint, having those interior passes. They're exploiting the size advantage they had at multiple positions.
You know, Sarah, Rose in their 3 games coming into tonight, holding their opponents under 75 points per game. Down 5, and Copper and Gray haven't really locked into the game yet. Get into a flow, that is, offensively.
I think in many cases, it's because they understand how they need to push the dial and get everyone else involved.
Angel Reese now has 10 points. It's a 1-possession game as we approach 5 minutes to go in the third. Team leading establishes the winning score. Hayes, after a couple of jab steps, no good. This would be a good time for Copper to hit her first 3. Gray has one of them. In traffic, hits it. 1-point game. McBride puts Reese on skates, lays it in. Kayla McBride, 17 points. Second leading scorer at Unrivaled. Martin, who checked in moments ago, fouls Reese on the dump pass. It's the second on Martin.
And we sat with Andrew Wade this morning, the other day, and what he's continued to say is they understand the importance of a big lead going into the fourth.
Martin dares Reese to take the 3, and she delivers. Her first 3 of the season. Reese on the break, lob it upstairs. Copper, no. That would have been for the lead.
It would have been a nice highlight, too. Great pass.
McBride scoops and scores. More on Angel Reese from Taylor Rooks.
Yeah, Brendan, it was really cool to hear Coach Nola Henry say that Chelsea Gray will really help Angel Reese's development. Said she's been great with her. Said Angel's young, some results we want to see quickly, but the reality is you don't see them right away, but they are happening. She said defensively, coverage rise, they've sped her up. When does it make sense to switch? Letting her know when she doesn't need to overhelp. And Chelsea actually specifically mentioned her screening angles. Said, how can I get her the easiest shot possible? And how can that angle be better and pose a challenge for the defense? And Sarah, we're seeing so many of these improvements out here
I love everything you just said, Taylor, because those are the small nuances of the game that allow for very good players to make a big jump. And so on that last possession, the foul she picks up on McBride, trying to defend in space. On the flip side of things, I think you can watch and say, yeah, pick and roll. You come up and you set a screen. There are so many small details of an angle that players like Chelsea Gray will be huge for her.
Hayes absorbs the contact and is fouled by Copper. That's her 4th. Angel Reese also has 4 fouls.
And Hayes has hit the ground hard a couple times.
Yeah.
She's fine.
The call on the court is under official review.
Okay, the call on the floor under official review. Gerda Gatling, our crew chief, is going to come over and share a message with us. We're going to check for a flagrant foul. We'll stay right here with 3:34 left in the third. Of course, the concern is the health and safety of Hayes. The foul was on Copper. You can see Alyssa Thomas and Jackie Young also gathered around. They are inactive tonight. Checking for a flagrant. Good to see Hayes back up and walking. Think it was anything excessive there, Sarah?
I'm going to be honest. That first glance, I didn't get a close enough look, I wouldn't say, to necessarily be able to have a strong thought one way or another.
I would agree. Just keeping folks caught up at home on foul trouble. Dolson with 4, Reese and Copper with 4 apiece.
Got it.
Hearing some tidbits from Andrew Wade.
Or no? You can't say?
We don't know.
All right.
We still have that timeout coming after the next bucket.
Yep.
See, it's that free throw. Yeah, it still isn't.
Hey, keep getting downhill. Job, you good?
And given time,
They can't
score,
guard. They cannot guard shit. They're putting
things
hands
are
all
at
over us. Get downhill.
significant
That's all.
if it is upgraded.
You ain't holding nothing up.
It's a flagrant, she gets a shot.
It should be our ball. Yep.
What do you want to run?
So she should get 1 and then a free throw and then
Yes, it should. Yes, correct.
we get the ball. We can make that like a 5-point swing.
Hey, when we get the flagrant and it's side out, let's go Mac, Steph, tip. Let's go wide action.
Payton, right? You got Payton, you got Payton.
Sorry. Katen.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you got Steph.
Tip. Yep. No, Steph's out.
Oh, okay.
Steph's
Steph's out. So
Yep.
me tipping.
Mac, yes. Yeah. Yep. I'll wait for it. It's just wide keep. I'll show it to you. Wide action. She's gonna come off, fake it, yep, and she's getting downhill. Yep, that's all. That's all.
10.
We're gonna run wide.
You right here. Fucking can't draw that backwards. Wide, fake the pitch, you get downhill, all right? Fake it, and you keep it, all right?
Let's go, y'all. Let's go.
Hey, push this out. Last 3 minutes, let's push this shit out right now. We're gonna play dirty. Fuck that.
And so Lace is getting on the same page. Tiffany Hayes gave the thumbs up. And it seems they've finally come to a verdict on this, whether or not there was a flagrant foul. There's no question of foul on the floor. We know that. A flagrant would lead to 1 free throw worth 1 point, a technical free throw. We're going to get the messaging now from Gerda Gatling, our crew chief tonight.
After official review, a flagrant foul has been assessed to the problem.
So it was upgraded, and this is a big shift, as we've heard and walked through the opportunity not only for these free throw points, but for the ball as well.
Yes, this is worth 2 and possession for Laces. 16 in the game for Hayes. As a team, Laces now 8 for 8 at the line. They entered 75%, and then Hayes gets 2 more. A 4-point trip for Laces to go up 8. Oh, and after all that, that was worth the time, I suppose, for Laces. We get a timeout on the floor with 3:33 to go in the third. Rose needs a push to try and get closer as we approach winning score time. You're watching Unrivaled on TNT, presented by Samsung Galaxy. Thank you to Miller Lite for being the official beer sponsor of Unrivaled. Midway point of the third quarter. Brendan Glasheen and Sarah Kustok. We have Taylor Rooks on the sidelines. Laces on a 10-2 run. All 4 points, the last 4 points coming from Tiffany Hayes. Has stayed in there despite getting shaken up multiple times. 18 points, 9 rebounds for Hayes. 49-41. What's the key, Sarah, for Rose to cut this deficit?
Well, a big part of it begins with getting stops. They've done a nice job of getting the ball inside, finding ways to manufacture points, in particular through the post, but a big part of it has got to be slow this Laces team down to string together some possessions. We continue to talk about the importance of leads or lack thereof going into the fourth quarter, so it's playing at your own tempo and your own pace, but it starts at the defensive end for Rose.
Just had to get the clock situated, 3:30 to go until we reach the untimed fourth quarter, which we play to a winning score. Lexi Hull on the back door, that's a way to start a run. 5 points for Hull.
McBride top blocking her there on the block. Excellent pass by Gray and Reed by Hull.
McBride, Hayes, and Martin, the trio for Laces. Hull, Stevens, and Gray on the floor for Rose. There's a stop, Sarah. Lob it up to Hull, but she lost it off her fingertips.
And that's what you're looking for. Great run, good touch. And Hull was there. The pass was right on the spot, just out of her fingertips.
Folks, you could argue this is the most important quarter of an Unrivaled game, especially as the team trailing. Hayes, matched up by Chelsea Gray. They were teammates this past year in Vegas, and Hayes gets Gray to bite.
Foul, Chelsea Gray.
It's a second on Gray, and Tiffany Hayes is 3 for 3 at the line. She missed it. Stays a 2-possession game.
First free throw that the Laces have missed as a team.
Yes. 8 for 9. Hull in traffic. Could be quite the swing here for Rose if Hull can deliver at the line. It's her first trip of the night. She has made the lone free throw she's attempted this season. Martin out, Dolson in for the Laces. Hull gets it, 4-point game. Alyssa Thomas is inactive tonight, but has some time with Taylor Rooks.
Thanks so much, Brendan. I'm here with Alyssa Thomas, of course, one of the leaders of this team. When I chatted with Kayla McBride, she told me how happy, and how happy are you, before I finish, how happy are you to see that shot go in?
It's time, it's about time. It's time to get going right now. We're kind of slow to a start, but we're getting there, we're getting there.
She told me how happy she was that you were still gonna be on the bench with this team. Just what are you telling your teammates about getting going in this one?
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is kind of lineups that we haven't been playing with, you know, so it's a lot of, we're not in rhythm, we're rushing. Like I said, we haven't been playing like this, but we're getting all the looks that we want. We just got to calm down and take easy shots.
And Stephanie Dolson, of course, really elevating, having her impact in this game. What do you like for her in your absence?
Yeah, I mean, Steph's a veteran. She's a great three-point shooter. She's a great screener, just an overall smart player. We got to utilize her more, get her setting more screens, and I mean, she's deadly from the three.
And last one for you, what has this team got to do to close it out?
Keep defending. I think we're playing great defense. And then on the offensive side, just keep running our sets and getting them to mess up. We got to continue to get this separation going into the fourth.
I appreciate your time. See you out there soon. Thanks, AT. Back to you.
Taylor, Alyssa, thank you. Laces have the best scoring defense in Unrivaled. As we wrap week 2, 56.7 points per game allowed. The best point differential at plus 62. Right now, plus 6 in this game. Dolson can put them up 8. 1 for 2 is true. Under 2 minutes left in the third. Rose Looks to chip away here. Azare Stevens, former teammate of Dolson in Chicago. Dolson does a great job shielding that shot selection. Hayes on the drive. No. Stevens the rebound. Second unit on the floor. Sykes has made a three already tonight. The box out, McBride is on top of it. Kayla McBride looking, finds Hayes, swivels inside, and she's fouled. Late call against Lexi Hull.
And I know Hull doesn't agree with this. That, though, by Tiffany Hayes, with her momentum going left and then the step through back to cut into the lane right is impressive. That's where she's got so much creativity and savviness around the basket with how to get off shots.
Tiffany Hayes, 3 for 4 tonight at the line. Lead is 10 for Laces. Biggest lead of the night. Hall comes around the pick. Kick it out, Stevens.
1 minute. Out of bounds.
It's Laces ball.
Laces ball.
Laces have been forcing tough shots for the Rose. They've had some cleaner three-point looks, but otherwise it's not been easy to get off quality looks.
Martin gave Dolson a look just to sell out the defense. Sykes the other way, fakes it in. Some smack talk between Sykes and Martin.
Oh, you love it. You love it.
They high-five each other. Low defensive stance. Martin. Remember, Sykes, 4-time all-defense. Martin right in her breadbasket. No. Shot clock is off for Rose. Down 10. As of right now, winning score would be 71 points. Brittany Sykes. This could be big for Rose. 60 to 50 at the end of 3. Winning score is 71. Laces need 11, Rose need 21. We'll make the turn for home. Our doubleheader has reached the 4th quarter in game 2. Laces look to go to 4-0 to stay tied atop the standings with Lunar Owls. It's Unrivaled on TNT. Sephora sounds as we welcome you back inside Wayfair Arena here at Media Pro in Miami. Unrivaled on TNT. Folks are all juiced up because we get a couple days here until we get week 3 going on Friday. Laces look to go to 4-0, 11 points away from doing so. 71 is the winning score. Rose needs a comeback. Need 21 points before Laces get 11. The fourth quarter is commercial free, and it's brought to you by AT&T. Tiffany Hayes down the sideline to the baseline. Quick 2 for Laces. Sarah, how does she do it when she absorbs so much contact, taking it to the basket? There are her hands on defense.
With that, she understands angles, and she does such a great job, especially in this setting where there's no backside help and no rotations. She gets a step on her defender, and she does. She bumps off, and she creates enough contact to get that extension. Because you're watching her do it against excellent defenders as well. Yeah. And that's where it's such a challenge with the threat that she presents.
After one bucket, new 3 in for Nola Henry. Kalia Copper up to 6 points. Gray and Reese also on the floor. This is the starting unit. Hayes for 3, short rim. Long board to Martin. Laces without Alyssa Thomas, still without Jackie Young. Very impressive. Dolson lobs it in.
Just enough. Kalia Copper was trying to hold her position and make that a tough shot for Dolson.
9 in the game for Stephanie Dolson, right around her average. Every player on Laces averages at least 9 points per game. Everyone but Dolson in double figures. 6 on the shot clock. That remains on despite no game clock in the fourth. After the jab, Hayes misses the 3. Now 1 for 8 there. 22 points, 9 rebounds. Copper fires. Rose seeking energy. Down 19 to the winning score of 71. Hayes is tripped up by Copper.
And that's where Nola Henry has tried some different substitutions, different looks. One, bringing fresh legs and fresh players to just how that changes the dynamic of what the Laces need to do. But in some cases, for the Laces, they just continue to play their style and their game. So regardless of what the matchups look like or other personnel, it's about their own play.
McBride for 3, contested by Reese. Used her length, standing tall at 6'3". Winning score is 71. Laces need 7. Rose need 19. Copper. And a foul. I feel like every other trip down the floor, Hayes is on the ground, and this time though she looks like she's in pain. All jokes aside.
Well, I think she gets the arm of Copper on her way down, and then maybe got bumped from behind as well. You are right, she is. Clearly shaken up.
She's a fighter.
Leaning with their elbows.
She will come out of the game. This is it for Hayes tonight. 22 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. She is actually going to make her way down the tunnel to the locker room. So here's Copper at the line, one worth 2 points. Rose within 10. Now the Laces, of course, want to maintain the energy with Hayes not in the game right now. McBride hesitated, hit it anyway. She thought she got fouled on the wrist. 29 for McBride. Feels like a quiet 29.
I was going to say, because at halftime, what did I say? That they needed to start get her going and get her more looks. But it's the level of efficiency that she's shown. And 29 points off 15 shots. Though you want her to continue to stay and maintain that type of volume, especially with Tiffany Hayes not in the game. And Kate Martin does such a great job at cutting off players, how she continues to move. You know she can create. But a lot of this is going to be the responsibility of McBride.
Rose exclusively using the free throw line to get points. An 11-point game. Reese picks up her 5th, reaching in on McBride.
And Rose are switching a ton, especially off those screens. So anytime we saw it with Hayes, now with McBride, Reese gets switched on, they're going to look to attack that coverage.
Tiffany Hayes is back to the bench. McBride could not put it in. Numbers for Rose. Gray steps into a 3. Rebound McBride, her 7th rebound to go with those 29 points. She's made 15 threes now in 4 games. Martin. Got some tired legs, it
I
seems.
was going to say, it feels like there's fatigue all over the floor.
Got a lot of fouls in this game. 29 of them. 21 free throws combined. Laces call a timeout.
And more of this might be to give a little bit of a breather to his players.
67-56, Laces with the lead. Here's the assist of the game presented by State Farm.
Woo, we've had some good ones here tonight, but it was on the handoff by Kate Martin and Tiffany Hayes just turning the corner. Beautiful give and go play. Hayes, she had been working it tonight.
Pretty good look by Kate Martin tonight with no Alyssa Thomas, out with the right leg injury, team captain of Laces, and no Jackie Young. See how the Laces want to close this out.
Mac, you come
over
off
the ball screen. Lexi, get in front of the ball. Get wide and opposite. If they help in, you got it easy for a nail kick 3. Nail kick 3. But we got to get stops. We got to get stops here. We got to get stops. We're blowing. We got to get stops. Defense.
Good tip. All right. Hey, Kate.
Good timeout by Andrew Wade just to get Laces maybe a breather and
I think
get back on track.
To be honest, I think that's the biggest part of it. Take a breath, compose yourself. They know how they want to play, what they want to run. They've created some really good looks for themselves, but it does feel like the fatigue had started to add up with some of the ways that they were shooting.
Nola Henry, message to her squad. She told us today that Laces team is really built well, similar styles in terms of the personnel and how they gel. Martin hit the backboard, but nowhere near the iron. Laces need 4 points to win the game. This is an untimed quarter. The shot clock remains on. 18-second shot clock in Unrivaled. 3x3, 72-foot court. Sykes converts, 9-point game.
And while the deficit is big, if you're Rose, just keep chipping away at it.
Yep.
Looks like that. They've gotten space off of those jump shots.
McBride, lane shut off by Sykes. 3 to shoot for McBride, fires. It's an offensive foul. It's on Dolson, her 5th. And now up to 6, so her night is done.
Take a look at this one off the screen. So, man, that's a tough call.
Andrew.
He's kind of relocating off of it and obviously trying to shield off, but yeah.
Andrew, he's going to use his challenge.
I mean, for a lot of reasons at this point. One, to keep Dolson in the game. 2, to get those 3 points and put yourself 1 point away from the winning score. And for as physical as this game has been, let's see how much she's moving. So handoff. Yeah, I mean, it's almost a shield off. It was a pretty soft call on that possession of where I could potentially see this being overturned. I mean, that's a whole lot of nothing. She was kind of just turning her body.
Look, look.
You want to see the mistake?
They put the replay monitors up here in the arena, at Wayfair Arena. The players are pointing out each of the corners. So they're watching a replay as if it were a jumbotron. Andrew Wade uses his challenge. Each head coach gets one. So we'll listen on what the strategy is.
That's
successful
all.
or
Hey, they're gonna
unsuccessful.
count it. We'll get a stop and end it on this end. I'm not even going to draw anything up. No, she's not. No. Hey, really quick. They're going to count it. They're going to count it. Going down, we're going to get a stop. Coming back. You're in. Yep.
Is that my fifth or sixth?
I think it'd be your six, I think.
So then I'm out.
Well, they're going to, no, it's going to.
Did you challenge it?
Yeah.
What's the challenge?
Yeah. Hey, coming back down. Let's go. Open, touch. Whoever, let's get Kate right here. After you hit, just slip it. All right? Does that make sense?
Like normal touch?
Yeah, like normal touch, but instead of coming down to set it, just take a step and go. All right? They're point switching everything. All right? Step.
Instead of setting the blast?
Yeah, instead of setting this pin down, just go slip it. All right? Step it. That pass is not there. Just play with Mac. All right? That's all.
4 points away, guys.
One more foul.
1 point.
It's gonna be, yep.
And they also count all the fouls, but they don't count the basket? Or no?
No. They told me they'd count the basket if it's overturned. They'll count the basket if it's overturned. So we're gonna be in a good spot. They tripped over each other. They're gonna count it.
That's it.
So Andrew Wade says if they overturn this, they would count the basket. Means a 3 for McBride, and that would put Laces 1 point away from winning the game.
Should. Yep. Multiple layers if this is overturned.
Well, forget that. It's an illegal screen. Call confirmed. Unsuccessful challenge. Stephanie Dolson's night is over. As you all found out, Steph wasn't sure that Coach Wade was challenging the call.
Take ball.
So she high-fived her head coach. Her night's over, though. 6 fouls. 67-58. Brittany Sykes attacks the basket. Count the basket and 1. It's a 7-point game.
Opportunity for Rose to take advantage. Right to the hoop off this play. I don't know if there was maybe a little bump for this play.
Sykes to make this a 3-point play. Missed it. Got her own miss, though. Sykes for 3. Hall and Reese collide. Saved by Sykes till 8 on the shot clock. And a foul over the back. That's going to put Laces over the limit.
And here's the situation. Now you are very undermanned. Already playing without Alyssa Thomas. Stephanie Dolson out of the game. Looks like Tiffany Hayes about to check in.
This is very interesting now. The hustle by all 3 on the floor now for Rose. Reese can make this a 5-point game. One worth 2. She knocks it in. Hayes is back on the floor for Laces. They do have Heidemann, but it's this trio right now. Tiffany Hayes inside for 2. 24 points. Laces win on the next bucket. Rose needs 9 points. Hall missed it. McBride tracks it down. They can win on this trip. Kayla McBride with 29 points. Hayes has Sykes as a matchup and a foul. Rose had one to give. Team's 3rd foul. So it's side out of bounds. Laces led by Andrew Wade, the 27-year-old. A win puts them tied with Lunar Owls atop the standings. McBride searching, backdoor Martin! She's fouled. A free throw here wins the game.
That's just a good read off that inbounds. Because I don't necessarily think that was a set of where Martin was going, but McBride just led her to the basket since there was no backside help, and she had a step of quickness on Reese.
Kate Martin is 2 for 2 this season at the free throw line. This is her first trip there tonight. And as a team, Laces is 11 of 12.
And that would be, the foul was called on Angel Reese. That would be her 6th foul. So I think Nola Henry, understandably so, challenging this call. I would imagine more so. I mean, one, it's eliminate the call, but 2, to make sure that you can keep Angel Reese in the game if in fact it is overturned. Excellent job with the backdoor cut. And yeah, I think she gets her enough on the head coming from behind. So watch, yeah, she smacks her across the forehead.
So Angel Reese is done for the night. Call confirmed. A make here for Martin, wins the game.
Shooting 1 for 2 points.
Kate Martin to put Laces at 4-0. No good. Fluttered off the iron 4 times. Rose still alive. Stevens, big shot for Hull. Stays a 7-point game. Laces look to put it away. It's Hayes. That's the 5th foul on Rose as a team, so Hayes is at the line. Now it's her turn.
And Hayes is trying to impose her will off that play, going right at Brittany Sykes.
She had 26 on Friday. This for 26 tonight. Missed it. There is some pressure on that team that determines the winning score to close the deal. Sykes is fouled.
And I'm going to be honest, I think at this point for all these players, the stages they performed at, I think it's less the pressure and more just the fatigue, the tiredness, how long they've been playing, the exhaustion that starts to set in. And I think you've seen that throughout the course at some points of games.
1 for 2, 5-point game, 18 for Sykes. Chelsea Gray and Kalia Copper are on the bench for Rose. Reese fouled out. Hayes for the win. We're going the other way. It's an offensive foul. So 3 straight trips with a chance to win it. 2 missed free throws and an offensive foul.
Take a little bit of the forearm shove off.
Hayes with 4 fouls. Hull had a layup, passed it up. Stevens. Rebound Hayes. Can this be the time? Tiffany Hayes, no good. The crowd is starting to feel it, maybe for Rose. Sykes, kick out, Hull, 3, no. Sykes, she tries. Can McBride do the job? Kayla McBride, she's like, enough of this. McBuckets, spinning, no. 2v2, Stevens for 3. We play on in Miami.
This is gut check time. I cannot properly express how exhausting this game is in general and for what these players have performed under.
Now it's an untimed quarter for you at home and for us. They're keeping track of the minutes at the scorer's table. So that will play a part into the minutes per game when they calculate individual player stats. They are really logging them here in the 4th. Laces can win it on the trip. Hayes with 24. McBride, crossover. Kayla McBride for the win. Yes, sir! 31 for McBride. Laces finally can celebrate and get to 4-0. Tied with Lunar Owls atop the Unrivaled standings.
Kayla McBride knows how to knock down it when it matters most. Drains the mid-range shot there, waving goodbye, good night. It has been a good night. And what a win for Laces.
Laces Lunar Owls battle on Friday to kickstart week 3. 71-64 the final score for Taylor Rooks, Sarah Kustok, our statistician Casey Colebrook, Dave Kamens, Damon Fisher, Brendan Glasheen, TruTV for postgame with Lauren, Candace, and Renee.
I sure can. No problem. Oh my God, I got a headache.
That's a wrap for tonight's games. We thank you for coming out to be a part of history with us. Our next set of games is Friday night with FanFest doors opening at 5:30 p.m. You can also catch the podcast live on TNT or stream it on Max. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at
You see all this?
Unrivaled Basketball. Thank you, fans. Have a great night and travel home safely.
Don't make no sense. I don't want it touching my mouth now. Man, just a team effort. Like you guys said, we always find each other whenever we're open. We're making the right passes. We're doing the right movements. Even though we were off tonight, we still found a way to win with what we had, and I commend our team for that. Hey, let me tell you something. I know myself, okay, and I know my body. I'm so grateful for everybody that's picking me. Shout out to y'all. But at the end of the day, you just know yourself, you know. I'm trying to go for longevity. I'm letting the people who want to go for it. But this right here, that's not. This 2025 tip. This ain't 2017 tip, all right? I just know who I am, what I am, okay? But thank y'all. I appreciate it. I think it's just mental, man. I think these past few years I've been going on a journey, self journey, and that goes a lot with it for me. I think that's one of the biggest things, and I think my mindset has changed a lot to tell myself that I could do all these things. I think I've always been a great defender, but I just always want to get better. I'm always just soaking up the game from people around me, and I got great teammates here. I got great people here around me. We ain't the soulmates for nothing. So I'm just grateful to have these people around me that I can pull from and learn from, and also give them something back. So I think that's where it comes from. Luckily, we have a lot of hands-on here, people who really are making sure your body's good, and there's a lot of resources here to make sure we get our bodies right. So I'm just grateful for that, man, and I'm making sure I'm taking that time to be in there. We're here for a reason. We're here to be professional athletes, so it's not crazy that we're in the building from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock just because we got to make sure we get in that time to rehab ourselves and get ourselves back right. So when you take that time to do that, I mean, it's an easy turnaround. I mean, for me, myself, personally, I'm just focused on being here. I'm having a great time. Love Jewel Lloyd. She's a great player, great person. I played with her before overseas, and that was a great time as well. Ace has definitely got a good one with that one, so that's going to be a fun time. But I'm really here just focusing on this because this has really been fun for me. I've really been enjoying myself on the court and off the court, so I really want to be present, so I'm just focused on it now. Oh yeah, we're all excited, man. I think everybody's been waiting for that. I think both of us teams have been waiting for that. So I'll see y'all next week. Appreciate y'all. See y'all Friday. Soulmates.